So NASA has a really big public-facing web presence that is spread over a lot of corners of the internet, right? And for years now, a large team has been working to centralize that content and make it more accessible. So the little story that I'm telling today is part of a bigger story. And the place where NASA web content, the future of NASA web content, and leaders' work are really intersecting is on moon.nasa.gov. So in this presentation, we're going to quickly go over what is going on moon.nasa.gov, including some new resources that I hope will be useful to people in this room. What does Leader have to do with it, and what's coming next? What can you expect from us over the next months and years? So when I say that moon.nasa.gov is NASA's home for lunar science for broad audiences, I do mean broad audiences. We had the opportunity at Goddard to begin managing moon.nasa.gov a few years back because Goddard is a center for lunar science. We have access to incredible expertise right in the planetary science division. And we've really seen traffic to the website increase. We're seeing that there is a demand for this content. People are looking to us for basic information about lunar science. There's an old expression, if I had more time, I would have written a shorter letter. And part of our job is we get to take the time to write good, short content. So when people are coming to us with an internet attention span, looking for the basics, we want to deliver that concisely, and we want to deliver high quality content. A really exciting update, I put these slides together on Sunday, and at that time we had tracked for about 4.2 million unique page views on moon.nasa.gov for this year. Since Sunday, about 30,000 more people, or I shouldn't say people, we've tracked about 30,000 more unique page views on the site. All of that is to say, we really rely on and appreciate the input of our large team of lunar science experts at NASA Goddard and of the Leader team. As content developers, we need that expertise to deliver this information to the many, many people who are looking to NASA for answers. Okay, so what are we even doing with all of this information? What are we presenting? These are some of the basics that we're working on covering on moon.nasa.gov. People look to us for answers to questions like, what is the moon made of? And how did it form? And what are tides? And what are eclipses? And where can I watch the eclipse? Quick sidebar. This is also NASA's online home for International Observe the Moon Night. You're invited, October 23rd, 2023. Yes, okay. But back to the content. We are currently working on filling some gaps. There's some content people have been looking to us for that we were not providing a few years ago. And Leader has been playing a key role in helping us to fill those gaps. So we recently rolled out a whole new section about sun and moonlight, about interactions with the solar wind, between the solar wind and the lunar surface. We want to talk about weather on the moon, and of course that means something totally different than weather on Earth, but it's a really exciting, engaging topic that people are curious about. So those are the sorts of things that we want to cover. So several Leader scientists helped with initial interviews to help us decide what we were going to cover, helped with reviewing the content to ensure that it was accurate and up to a high standard for being the main resource that NASA is putting out there on the internet. I want to go to a quick screenshot of the moon.nasa.gov homepage as it is right now. And you can see here, and I'll outline here, the part of the nav structure that the Leader team has really taken ownership of. We have weather on the moon highlighted. We've got our sun and moonlight section, and under that category, we go into detail on a few topics. But really, this is just the beginning. This is a phase one of a larger process. We are looking towards developing an exosphere explainer, and credit goes to Dana Hurley for already having done a short interview with me to help lay groundwork for that piece. I am embedded on the moon.nasa.gov team. I'm also the science activation, citizen science, public engagement liaison for Leader. So I have this amazing opportunity to continue acting as a connector and bringing that perspective to all of our content development and our features. One feature that we rolled out just recently that we're really excited about. And this one isn't like solely a leader thing, but it's so cool that I'm going to show it to you anyway, is the daily moon guide. This is something that our site visitors have been asking for explicitly and otherwise for a long time. And it's an interactive guide to observing the moon for every day of the year. So if you or folks you know are going out to look at the moon and you are curious about recommended sites to observe, you can select, hey, I'm looking with just my eyeballs today, or I have binoculars, or I have a telescope. I'm in the northern hemisphere. I'm in the southern hemisphere. I want to know what's up there right now. I want to know what's up there on my birthday. I want to know what's up there on International Observe the Moon Night. Oh, I said the wrong date earlier. It's October 21st, 2023. All right. Love when I get a chance to correct a mistake. So check this out. It's out there for you. We will continue to roll out new content and we're looking for feedback. So please do let us know what's working for you. Let us know where you see gaps for yourself, your community, and what's not working so well for you so that we can take that input into account. With that, I'd like to say a big thanks to our subject matter expert reviewers from the Leader team who helped with our phase 1 content, Bill Farrell, John Keller, Liam Morrissey, and OJ Tucker. The Moon website team is Veen Wen on graphics, Tracy Vogel is our lead science writer, Molly Wasser is the project lead, and Andrea Jones supports content development. And of course, Dana Hurley is helping us with the next phase. And we are able to do this because of funding and strategic support from SSERVI'S, NASA, Leader, and Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. Shout out LRO. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm happy to take any questions.
So we have some time for questions. Oh, go ahead, Grace.
I had 2 quick questions. One, I wanted to know what's y'all's primary method to getting information out that the website exists?
Oh my gosh, what a fantastic question. So we do use social media as a big part of our strategy. Part of Molly's job is, as we say, being the voice of the moon for NASA on social. And so when we develop a new feature and release it, we first try as hard as we can to poke holes in it and find out what's wrong with it and fix those problems. And then we promote it on NASA social. We also know that from our analytics, our traffic is heavily event driven. So we see really big influxes of visitation around International Observe the Moon Night, around lunar eclipses, and other celestial events that turn public attention towards the moon. So when we're in our Moon Web team meetings and we're strategizing about when to release content and how to promote it, we definitely are talking about, okay, when's the next time a lot of people are going to be looking to us more than usual? And what are they going to be looking for that they know they're curious about? And what do they not know they're curious about yet that we want to put in front of them at that time? Does that answer your question?
It does. And it kind of answered my second question too. So.
Okay. Thanks for the question.
And I'll just add that Caela did a lot of work looking into what people are searching about the moon, and we guided our content accordingly. So what questions are people asking?
Okay, so that last question actually kind of intercepted my question. So I think you just answered most of what I was going to ask. But I did have another one about the really cool moon app that you were showing. Mm-hmm. So how did that get developed? Like, who did that? Did you have to reach out externally? Like, how was it developed?
Oh, great question. I would love to give a big shout out here to the web development team that we work with, Moore Beck. They do a lot of work with JPL. They are the coders behind NASA Solar System as well as NASA Moon. But in terms of concept and project leadership, Molly, do you want to take that mic and answer that question? Because that has been you.
Yeah, well, Brian Day over here creates a moon map every year for International Observe the Moon Night. It's our most popular product for 14 years. Ernie Wright from the Scientific Visualization Studio has this feature on Dial-A-Moon, which has the moon phases for every single day of the year, incredibly accurate based on lunar reconnaissance orbiter data. That's also very popular, but it's so I essentially combined both of their years of work into something that was a little bit more accessible, and happy to share more about that later.
Great. Thank you so much, Caela.